Hello, this is Charlie. This is a response to James Randi and the medium. Why I'm doing this video is to make people understand that there's no such thing as cold readings. Medium work if the way they work. And James Randi thinks every medium is a fraud and there's no such thing, and there's no convincing him, and there's probably no convincing a lot of people. What people don't understand is a medium, there's so many spirits around a mediums, and when a medium asks questions, can you take Doris or Jim or whatever, they're just seeing if you've got the right thoughts and it's not theirs. Because it's very hard, to actually suss out the thought of spirits and the thought of yourself. And this is where some mediums do get confused. Like I said, she's seen she's got the right thought, and plus it starts the vibrations off if somebody says yes, and then the rest of the information comes through. I mean, if you look at it logically, if you've got a room full of people, you must have been in that situation where you try to tune into three people at the same time, and they're all making conversations with you, and you can't concentrate on one. It's very hard. Well, it's even worse with sussing out the thoughts of a spirit and the thought of yourself. But anyway, I'll go through this video and I'll give you an example. I mean, Mrs. Flynn starts off with asking the audience, has anyone can take the name Taylor, and the lad said yes. And after she done that, she gave a fax with that name, and he died of a heart condition. If she said, does it make sense? And he said yes. Now there you go. But the thing is, at the end, when they done the percentage to do with this name called Taylor, there was 30% of people which could have took the name Taylor, and there was 55% who could actually relate to the condition of the granddad. But the thing is, the percentage of Taylors, what James Randi didn't do is he should have asked the names with Taylor is actually linked to do with a heart condition, and he didn't say that. Then 55% of people who actually relate to a heart condition of someone dying doesn't mean it's the name Taylor. So, you can go on forever. And as it goes on, then the lad couldn't take any of the other names, Doris and Jim or James. And what was happening there is basically she was picking up other spirits to do with the next person. And that's what was happening. Another spirit was putting in, and like I said to you before, that's where some mediums get confused. And as you can see, as she goes on to the woman, I mean, she was very shocked. She was a non-believer, or slight non-believer, and she was picking up facts to do with that woman. And this is why it's not cold reading. It's not to do with names or anything. She was given facts, the thing over his face, and she actually was shocked. She was very shocked of what she was getting. She was right again. So, where's the cold reading? It's nothing to do with that. But what James Randi didn't do again is he done a percentage on that lad, but he didn't do it on that woman. I wonder why, eh? Because she was very shocked, and even though she had to know, there was less evidence to do with that lad than what there was with that woman. I'd like to hear off that woman. She put her on the end of the video. Should have asked her what she thought, and she would talk about that she was very shocked. Like I said, there's no such thing as cold readings. There really isn't. And James Randi and all that, a lot of skeptic people. There's people that will never believe. And like I said, why I'm doing this video is just make people understand. And it's very sad, really, because spirits, believe it or not, try very, very hard to work through any human being so they can let their family know that their soul actually lives on. And this is where the sad part is, and this is what makes me mad about it. But you can't make everyone believe. This is why people should be open-minded. It is very sad, and when there's like the James Randi and people like that. You just imagine that loads of spirits and they want people that's upset down here of someone dying. It's very sad. If they don't want to accept it, they should be open-minded that there's a possibility. There is life after death, believe me. I know. And thousands of other mediums know. And there's been surveys all over the world to do with life after death, and they know a lot more than James Randi and badpsychic.com and loads of other people. There's people who'll never believe, really. But this reading really is a very good reading. Another thing people do not understand is when you're doing a demonstration in an audience, it's a lot harder for a medium. It really is. And there's some that give demonstrations, and you get, like that fella said on the end of this video, and if you get 80% of whatever, you know. I mean, I'd give her a rating of something like 80% out of 100 with that woman and that lad. Considering she gave only 2 readings there, if she went on, she could probably give a better demonstration. I mean, if that woman, or even that lad, was actually in a private reading on their own, people are better off at a private reading if they're skeptic. It's simple as that. Being in an audience, it doesn't mean you get what you want. And people do think, well, that could be someone else. And this is what James Randi's working on. I mean, even the system to do with James Randi with 10 people, it could work. But you need the type of people who are from all different walks of life. It's simple as that. I mean, I've seen give some good private readings better than demonstrations, and most of mediums can. And most people who believe in life after death usually actually have had a private reading, and that should say a lot. I mean, people go on about the James Randi challenge, you know, but mediums won't go in for it for a couple of reasons. And one reason, anyone can wave a check in the end. But even if there was evidence out of these 10 people, James Randi will say, well, you still can't prove that this comes from dead people. Because James Randi thinks everything's a trick that can't be explained. He is an evil man, believe me. And this is why mediums won't bother with him. And people say, well, it doesn't matter if he's evil, but he hasn't got the money anyway. There's no such thing as cold reading whatsoever. The only thing that cold reading James Randi started off, or whoever did, is there is frauds around, and you've got to suss out the bad from the good. And I'm doing all these videos because the mediums it's getting slagged off, if you want to put it that way, on badpsychic.com with James Randi. He's picking on the wrong people. You've got to suss out the bad from the good, and James Randi and badpsychic.com will never do that, because he don't understand how mediumships work. And it's even like him on badpsychic.com. I mean, he says he went through a course and he's a medium and he does understand it. But he's lying, because if he was a medium or he went through a course, he wouldn't be skeptic. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't make sense, does it? I mean, James Randi and him are both liars. They really are. But it is hard for mediums to working out spirits' thoughts from their thoughts. It's very hard. It really is. Like I just mentioned before, there's no way this was a cow reading this video. She done a good demonstration. But all you people should be open-minded. And a lot of skeptic people say, well, we are open-minded, but they're not. At the end, there was a reading which he gave to a gentleman, you know. James Randi said there was 37 names mentioned, and he could take 9 out of that private reading. I agree with her where she said he was satisfied with the reading and a lot of stuff makes sense. And it's nothing to do with all the names she gave. There's reasons for giving all these names. When you pick up names, it doesn't matter how many it is. He could have a family history going back through a few hundred years. And all them names are just coming through because other people around him know them people. You put facts with them names, what that gentleman got, and he was satisfied. Anyway, I will leave it at that. God bless.